my name is Felix Beck, and you Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. I'm going to start off with a little appeal, a little appeal. If you can consider hitting the subscribe button, the share button, all that stuff is really, really great. The purge is here. The absolute purge is here. I'm hearing basically everybody in the fandom made it. Everyone outside of the cultural aisle, they're seeing their channel growth be, imploding. It's like, I'm seeing it here. I'm working twice as hard, and I'm managing to stand still. So I'm quite happy about that. So if you could reach out and subscribe to me. Anybody who's asking me to subscribe, support, comment, like, all that stuff is really great. It's just, I don't know how much longer this part is going to go on for. I think it might we might be in the last few weeks, right? I really do. I really think we might be in the last few weeks of there being any kind of free speech. So again, reach out and support your local YouTuber would be my recommendation. Having said that, they say in journalism, never let yourself become the story. Fortunately, I'm not a journalist. Because this is not journalism. This is opinion. The story is about Nerdrotic. Gary Beagle at Nerdrotic. Now, let me just say, I freaking love Nerdrotic, okay? I am unabashedly a nerd. Well, there is a collective noun for a Nerdrotic fan. I really like Nerdrotic. Mike's channel exists because of him. Which is probably why the Twitter psychos can't stand him. My channel exists because of him. He was the only voice I found when Doctor Who, season 11 started, and it was just awful. It was just so unbelievably bad. And then if you went and spoke about it anywhere, you were called a racist or a bigot. Like, no, these episodes are just really bad. Jodie Whittaker doesn't seem to be doing a great job. No, you said anything that, you were instantly called some kind of phobe or that's across all social media, and that's how I found Nerdrotic, and I'd say I agree with him on a good 80% of things, which is pretty good. So he had this, I would say, reasonable tirade against Chris Eccleston, in which I have to tell you, I completely disagree with him, right? I completely disagree with him on every level. However, I still love Gary. And this is why we're doing this video, because it's really important, I think, it's in 2020, and it's crazy that we got here, but it's really important to demonstrate how you could disagree with somebody and not hate them, right? And whenever you say this stuff, like, out loud, right? Let's say, well, I disagree that episode of Doctor Who was good. You're evil! Ah! Like, whenever you say this out loud, right? It's crazy. It's crazy that it is when inside your head. Yeah, so we're going to demonstrate that. And again, completely disagree with Gary on his point. I'm happy to. I'd love to have him on my show to talk about it. But like, again, I agree with him on like 80-90% of the stuff, and I love his channel. So there you go. So again, you can have differences of opinion, and it's okay. Something that we should not have a difference of opinion about. That something that we should be unified as one as one homogenous group is. You should really, again, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. But if you want to be super fantastic, go check out my Indiegogo. Go check it. Well, it's kind of small over there. Let me see if I make it bigger. Go check out my Indiegogo. 2 freaking awesome graphic novels. I'm wrapping this up soon. I'm waiting to get one piece of artwork, and then we're doing a poster of it. Well, I want to wrap it up this week. Why do I want to wrap up this week? Because I want to meld the comic. I want to fulfill the campaign. Why do I want to fulfill the campaign? It's because I got my next one I want to start. I'm like ready to go, baby. I'm digging it. So yeah, 2 freaking awesome graphic novels. One's 105 pages, one 220 pages. If you buy both, you get a bunch of extras, but you can get the extras on their own. I would recommend getting the comics though, because I want you to read the comics. But that's just, I understand you don't want to drop $40. I get it. So here, the extras are a series of art cards called For the Male Gaze. I find we live in an age of like an assault on the idea of identity and gender, right? Of heterosexuality, we live in this age where it's like being straight is bad. Okay, whatever. So these are aggressively heterosexuals. They are indeed based on my 12-year-old titillations, my 12-year-old masturbatory fantasy, and again, very good taste. So we have a James Bondy one, cute in the British end up. We have a bit of Space 1999 action. I just saw Big Finish doing was it Thunderbirds? Now the Space 99 was freaking awesome. I really enjoyed this Space 99 Thunderbirds. I subscribe subscribed to this a series they did called The Robots, which isn't very good, right? I got all like 4 box sets of that pre-ordered, and the third one came out. And I still haven't listened to it, like a month or so ago. So I just saw they got the doing Thunderbirds. I'm like, oh. So I emailed Big Finish. I'm going to see if they're going to let me change my pre-order for the Robots Volume 4 for Thunderbirds, because it's not very good. What is very good? Well, it's very good is the next on the Male Gaze card. Don't even think it's an. You know, we're all thinking it. And we're equally thinking it about this one. No hanky panky in the Tardis. This is going to get a zoom in. Because, of course, it has, because it's so freaking awesome. Artwork by the wonderful Dominic Raccio. Again, I'm waiting on one more piece of artwork from him. And then we expanded the range. We had I'm Sensing Strong Emotions, Captain. I am Sensing Strong Emotions, Captain. Yes, you are. And then you know, I just threw in another one because I love you guys. Because I love you so much. We had to have the Forces female. We need to reclaim that ridiculous. And this one gets a zoom in. Oh, it's so good. Oh yes, Princess Leia. We love you. So you get all those. We're coming up to about $7,000. About right now. When the campaign hits $8,000, which I think we will when finished. Everybody gets this poster. It's called A Bohemian in Time and Space. It's a big A2 poster. You can get this add-on. If you hit $12,000, everybody gets this one. But it's an add-on right now. The eyes have it, and we also have Great Balls of Fire, a bit of Great Balls of Fire action. So when I showed us something last night, they said, is that Bill Clinton? No, that's not Bill Clinton. So anyway, Big Finish, the company that do audiobooks. I like them a lot. They had a bit of a ropey year. I would say 2020 was not a good year for them. A lot of the stuff they put out was just substandard, and there was a lot of, I would say, genderizing creeping in. No heterosexual person is allowed in the future. Everybody is a kick-ass, gender fluid and female lesbian space assassin, like everybody. So he did like 2020, but you know, I think they're turning things around now, because I think they're seeing a negative response from what happened. See, that only seems to be the range. The range is coming out. So one of the range starting next month is Christopher Eccleston. He is returning to Doctor Who, and he's been doing some publicity, and he's raised quite a bit of ire about it. So firstly, people were upset that, you know, that they felt this was a cash grab. They was just like, didn't really care about Doctor Who, and it was just coming in to get the money. I think it's a job of work. Which he said very honestly, which is why I kind of like Excellent. He said very honestly, very plainly. Yes, I do this for a living, right? I do this for a living. This is my job, and I like being paid. Yeah, which is fine. But I don't think he's so cynical. I don't think he's a cynical person at all. Like, this is just from reading his interview. It seems to me that he was very, very, very hurt by something or other that went on in the production of that series, which is why he quit, right? Which is why he left after one season, and then his life just turned to garbage because of it. He couldn't work in the UK anymore. He had to go to Hollywood, and he did these movies that he just hated. He did G.I. Joe and Thor, the Lost Kingdom, whatever they were, the second Thor movie. You can see him, and he's a great actor. You can still see him hating every minute of it. So yeah, I think he just went on a journey of like healing, right? It took him some time. He started doing cons. Clearly financially motivated, because he was charging a lot of money for his signature, charging like $100, which I find very, very high, right? But I don't think I would pay that. I don't think I'm that in. But I don't think I'll pay $100 for pretty much anybody's signature. It depends. If it was on $1 million check, maybe I could catch it. But but yeah, it's very important to remember, I think, with Excellent, and with most of these people, they're not fans. They don't love Doctor Who like we do. Now, yeah, you get David Tennant. He was a fan. He loved Doctor Who the same way we did. I think Capaldi as well. I think Moffat. I think Russell T Davies. Yeah, I think these people genuinely love Doctor Who in the same way we did. And I thought Chris Chibnall did, but I guess he loves virtue signaling more than he loves Doctor Who, right? But anyway, so Eccleston has been, telling the truth, right? Telling out what he really thinks about things in a bunch of interviews. And this set Gary off. Gary was really upset by, actually, no, I take that back. Wasn't really upset. He gave his commentary. He gave his opinion. He gave his commentary on what Eccleston said. And he does believe that he's just doing these as a cash grab. He couldn't get less. Because one of the things Eccleston said was, you need to blow up canon to move forward. And again, for me, I think he's just a normie. He's a normie that doesn't know, doesn't really know what's going on with Doctor Who. And generally speaking, up until recently, he's been right. Doctor Who is a show that really needs to move forward constantly. It's just the parameters of moving forward have changed completely. Used to be, we would keep the basic framework of the basic moral framework that it was built under, like Star Trek, the original series of Star Trek. I think Star Trek right up until at least Voyager, right? Star Trek Enterprise started with the premise that America was a decent, good place. Like, the idea of there being liberty and justice for because the Federation, I think, represented America. Started with the idea of America being a decent, good place. And the more recent Star Trek with Discovery, Picard, I think works on the premise that America is a deeply evil place. In fact, the Western world is an evil place. So when you say you got to blow up canon, yeah, but there's blowing up and blowing up. You got to. You listen. There's an English soap called Coronation Street. I haven't watched it in absolute decades. It's about life in a street in north of England. I think it's the north. Yeah, must be Wakefield. Now, you could blow up canon there, and you could make it on a space marshmallow. They wake up one day and they're in a space marshmallow, and they're all just tubs of lard. They have to talk. You could do that. You could do anything. You can do anything. Would it be good? would it be connecting to the essence of what Coronation Street is? No, it wouldn't. So the idea of blowing up canon is saying a thing to keep moving forward. Things like to keep moving forward with Doctor, which I think it really does need to do. And when it didn't, like in the 80s, I think it just kind of circled. It stagnated. I think it was one of the interesting shows that it really does need to be on the cutting edge all the time. So anyway, Gary went off with his opinions because he has an opinion channel. I disagree with the opinion. I enjoyed watching his opinion, but some people who did enjoy watching his opinion are baby brain morons. Now, let's start off with this guy over here. So this guy, Mr. Tardis. Now I'm going to talk about him by name because he talks about me by name. He talks about a lot of people by name. He's a terrible person in my opinion, and loves to punch down at people. Loves it. Absolutely adores punching down. Lies barefaced constantly, and will always run from being called to account on his lies. Absolutely all the time. He always goes after Noel of the Tardis Zone. If you're not subscribed to his channel, please do. It's a great channel. It's a fun channel, right? So Noel oftentimes does videos about the rumors circulating, and every video. Every freaking video, he goes, this is just rumor and speculation. I don't know how you can say it any more clearly. But because we are in a cultural divide, and Mr. Tardis is on the other side of Noel on the cultural divide, he makes up a bunch of stuff. He says, he just and he did this half-hour tirade, maybe longer about him. I get the feeling that he's just lost his job. Right, I get a feeling that he's just lost his job, and he has to put more time into YouTubing, and he's hoping that's going to bring him in some money. He's got a nice sized channel. Here's the thing: he likes to punch down. He loves to punch down, and he loves to punch down with impunity, which I just find reasonably disgraceful behavior. Right, and so we're going to go through this, and I'm going to point out exactly how egregiously he's lying and all that. And the point being. If you're a baby brain moron, as most racists are, and I do believe him to be somewhat racist, you can only see people in two dimensions at best, right? You can't see people as nuanced beings. No, if there are people either good or bad, if they're on, if there's somebody who you think comes from a group of people who have been marginalized, they are always good, no matter what they do. Doesn't matter their personal action. If you come from a group that you feel has marginalized other people, they're always bad. Doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter what you do, because they're brave, baby brain morons, which is how I would describe Mr. Tardis here. A baby brain moron who likes to punch, a cowardly baby brain moron who likes to punch down. He just loves doing it. So this offense, this offense by Gary, he couldn't let it go. He was like, no one can have this opinion, and I'm gonna lie through my teeth because I don't like him. So starts off, this one person took a video grab from his live stream. It's like a 2-3 hour live stream. It's a 2-minute video grab. Now, firstly, if you're monitoring strangers' communications like you're the Stasi, like you're the secret police, and then grabbing video evidence, right, and then putting out, going, look how despicable this is! We must burn the heretic! If you're doing that, you might want to look at your life choices. So, yeah, you might want to go, this whole, joining a bigoted mob may not be for you. Maybe it is, maybe you are. Now, so let me just clarify. I mentioned bigotry. Let me tell you my personal experience with Mr. Tardis here. So, we'll talk. There was some Twitter thing about racism. He said I keep having. He said I have racists on my channel and white supremacists. So I asked him specifically, what do you mean? And he goes, blah, blah, and he didn't have an answer. So then I asked him, I find it interesting that you don't like racism, because you're a big supporter of Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn was a massive racist, and that's not an opinion statement. He doesn't like Jews. And all the Jews in England said, oh, that guy's a bit racist. We actually came into an open mind, right? I thought it would be okay. But after he started being insanely racist very quickly, he took over the chief left-wing party, the main left-wing party in England, called the Labour Party, and literally ran it into the ground. It ended up, they had a general election with facing an unpopular candidate in the form of Boris Johnson, who was not popular in any way, shape, or form. And they got the worst result, worst result possible. Worse still, all his supporters said, "No, he's not racist. You Jews are just making it up," which is a little bit racist. Okay, you Jews are just making it up because you're bigots. You hate people. Honestly, that's really what it was like. It was very strange. So eventually, because again, his supporters wouldn't listen to us. The European Commission on Human Rights have said, "Oh yeah, he's a bit of a racist. he's super racist." So anyway, I asked him, "So why do you support this racist if you find racism unacceptable?" And then he blocked me. Which is what he does. He calls people names. He accuses people of doing exactly what he does, and then runs and hides because he's got such great character. So anyway, let's dissect him. What he's got to say. Remember, this culture war BS is all about sides. So, are you denying there's a culture war, right? Because we are in the middle of a cultural purge. I understand you're on the side that's purging, and I'm on the side that's being purged. But there's still a cultural purge going on, nonetheless, right? Nonetheless, if Eccleston, and okay, fine, so he's his pronunciation, had said something that he agreed with, he wouldn't be almost crying on stream. Yeah, he would be agreeing with him. Wait a minute, you're saying if somebody... yeah, exactly. He's not going after him because of his identity. He's going after him because of the content of his character, the content of his words. And you finding that bad because you're a baby brain moron, because you're a bigot. That's why. It's clear he's just angry with no actual rebuke. Rebuke? Debate? What's rebuke mean? Rebuke's not a word, is it? One second. I'll be right. This is doing some real-time check. We're going to look up rebuke definition. Is it not refute? Rebuke. No. Did you know it didn't mean rebuke? It didn't mean refute. What does rebuke mean? Okay, fine. Definitions.net says in 2017. to start a machine. I don't think it meant that. I would. What? It means to start a machine. I think it meant rebuke or refute with nothing. It would refute. Now I have to tell you, again, this was all Gary's opinion. I just disagree with his opinion. And I still love Gary, right? Isn't that crazy? It's unbelievable. That's why he has nothing but ad hom and lies here. Again, it's not a lot. Okay, saying your opinion. His opinion was that he needed money, that like jobs had dried up, and that's why he took this job. Could be right. I don't know. I don't think that's the case, but could be. I don't know. It's an opinion. So fine. So then he tries to he starts dissecting it until his career went to shit. So he said his career. I don't. Again, and this is where I disagree with Gary. I don't think excellent career went to shit. I think his career went to shit when he quit Doctor Who and he was blackballed by the BBC and he couldn't work in the UK. That I think happened. And he doesn't have any evidence. Doesn't have any sort of evidence that follows up. Do you have any evidence that I have white supremacy on? No. As I remember, you you blocked me and ran screaming when somebody asked you for a citation. So here's the thing, Mr. Tardis. If you don't want to be a massive douchebag, you can be a massive douchebag. And I think you've really got being a massive douchebag completely down, right? I think you've really got it worked out. If you don't want to be a massive douchebag, you need to treat people equally. And here's the important thing. You need to treat yourself equally. Okay, so this goes two ways. This is a religious thing, though. It goes two ways. Firstly, you've got to have one set of rules and apply them equally to all people. Otherwise, you're just taking sides. Now, I think Gary does that. I think Gary is a very honest, decent person. I really do. I've never seen any evidence that even though he has opinions that I disagree with sometimes, he's not a very honest, he's a very honest, genuine person, right? I don't get that from you because, again, you've lied barefaced about me and about Noel, who I know personally, so I don't want to tell you. So you need to apply the same rules equally to all people to have any credibility. Equally. The second thing this means is when you've done something bad, people rationalize it to themselves. People go, well, it wasn't bad because of this, but that, and you're a very good defense attorney for yourself. Everybody is. It's just human nature. You should try and be like that for other people. It's called the Jewish way of saying it's called dam lechab zchut, but looking on the side of merit, right? That's what generally speaking what it means. It's fine. So, Excellent just released a big autobiography, stars in one of BBC's biggest dramas, The A Word, and works regularly in voiceover. Nerdrotic has nothing bad on him, and he knows it. He has nothing bad on him, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like what he said. It's not a question of having. Again, you treat everything like it's a crusade. And that's why you appear to be a moron, right? Because not everything's a crusade. Also, wasn't Nerdrotic? Oh yeah, there we go. It was right in there, right in the one. This is like the bingo card, of Mr. Tardis lies. Also, wasn't Nerdrotic involved in white supremacist geeks and gamers suicide prevention charity? Again, why are you calling them white supremacists? I don't think anybody else called them white supremacy. Zack Snyder said we don't support hate, and he didn't really direct that, connect that to geeks and gamers. That was the inference, I understood, and that was the inference I think insisted upon him by Warner Brothers, who wanted to destroy the Snyderverse from getting any traction. So anyway, you're upset that he was involved in a suicide prevention charity. Like he raised money for that's a bad thing. Or do you want people to kill themselves? Again, you know what you do. You want the wrong people to kill themselves, right? The wrong side of history people, because you're a bad. And here he is, basically lying about Eckler's career after the man went through depression and had to be sectioned because he was suicidal, mainly because the BBC tried to destroy his life. Remember that? No, you don't remember. These people are really the worst. Mr. Tardis. Again, what's that other the nutsack, not my doctor Twitter account, who have been very quiet recently, which we're going to talk about in a minute. You say you like to call out the worst of fandom, people being bad. I'm just calling it bad behavior. This is just consequence culture. It's not cancel culture. It's consequence culture. Okay, so the consequence is I'm pointing out you're a lying piece of human garbage, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion for you. Remember, it's all about size. One day, a former doctor during a perceived golden era of the show is now the worst person ever because he dared have an opinion that did not match your... You're talking about Gary. Like, you're talking about yourself and Gary. Yeah, you're saying Gary is the worst person ever, and I'm quoting you, because he dared have an opinion that did not match your own, and now he's tarnished forever. How do you separate that from yourself? That is you talking about Gary because you don't like his opinion, right? No, okay. But yeah, these people aren't very clever. They're not going to work it out. No nuance. Well, I don't think you have any, do you? No humanity. You certainly don't have humanity. Just hate. Nothing but hate. Yes, Mr. Tardis is just hate. Nothing but hate. And you see that how he's always attacks Noel, right? He does attack me, but he's going to come after me because of this, but come on. Well, okay, whatever. Full disclosure, I'm a massive douchebag. that would be the only honest thing to say after. Full disclosure, I generally don't think a single Nerdrotic video that wasn't just wall-to-wall lies and misinformation. Citation? No, not so much because we don't keep the same rules, right? Citation? No. This is open contempt for the truth and clearly deliberate. Again, Mr. Tardis, you seem to be talking about yourself. He's just being mean for the sake of being mean, and grift is so transparent and pathetic. Honestly, how much less self-aware could any human being be? Oh, don't touch that doll. We're going to get to the next one. So when I saw this, I then went to look at the Nutsuck account, the Nut My Doctor account, and yes, they didn't disappoint. Although they got this younger chap, Tom over here, who he always goes after me as well. But here's the thing. Tom doesn't really bother me because he's younger, and I get so whilst I'm looking through this tirade, I get the feeling that he's just finishing college right now, and so he's going to have to get a job and a life, and oh boy, you won't be hearing much of him soon. But you see when he called Tom the Supremo. Yeah, I understand it's a Doctor Who reference, but it's really how he sees himself. Like but let's just read this because it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can just tell Nerdrotic effing reeks. Really? You say he smells? I mean, come on! Like, I know you're a kiddiewinkle, right? I know you're a little kiddiewinkle, but you don't have to sound like a little kiddiewinkle. Constantly chatting hyperbolic, misogynist crap about Jodie Walker. Okay, citation? No. Okay, again, why is it misogynistic to say her performance is diabolical, right? I would say a performance will be diabolical regardless of her gender, which apparently doesn't exist, right? Jodie Weir, and then this Hohen diatribe about Eccleston. So here's what I think, because again, I think this Tom guy is reasonably intelligent. I do. I think he's witty, and to be witty, you need to be intelligent. But I just think he's wrapped up in this brainwashing that's gone on for an entire generation, so much so that they stigmatize people for not wanting to have same-sex relations. Honestly, they call it same-sex relations. Like, if you won't date somebody who if you're a man who won't date a woman who has a penis, not saying a woman with a penis is a woman, that'd be great. And you will not perform sexual favors upon that very feminine penis. If you're not into sucking a female dick, okay, I think we can say any more clear than that. You're a bad person. So, do you think that happened to him? Because I think he's probably straight. And I think he's such a massive virtue signaler that he probably would want to date a trans person if he can find one. It wasn't just so he can suck some female dick. I do, and I think that's going to mess you up. I think that's going to mess you up, and I think that's probably what happened over here. Look, that's just my guess. I don't know anything about it, but I honestly think he's quite intelligent because he's witty, and I think you need to be smart to be witty. The amount of effing disrespect emanating from his dirty, I mean, like, why do you have to sound like such a baby? It's so funny. It's so funny. We'll just read a couple from him, but this goes on and on and on. He was an a-hole. His career is shit. He was fired. I disagree. I don't think he was fired. But I don't get my knickers in a twist because of any of this either. He had an effing eating disorder pressured on him by the BBC execs. Yeah, because again, that's when they blacklisted him for leaving Doctor Who. They made his life an effing nightmare. I want to body this nerd. What does that mean? Sniveling little unloved wretch. The thing is, he's not unloved, is he? He's got a much bigger chance. Firstly, I love Nerdrotic. But, in terms of real love, he's married, he has children. I think he's a very grounded, well-rounded person. He doesn't need my help to defend him, right? He doesn't need my help at all. People like Gary do their effing hardest to push back the fight for men's mental health for their own selfish gain. No. Again, that's the thing. Whenever anyone calls out this Tom guy, he goes, "You're hurting my mental health." Oh, dude, you wait till you got to get a job. See how much time you got for your mental health then, mate. You see, why do we not hear from millennials anymore? Because they had to all go and get jobs. Remember when they're all protesting, the 1%, and how they couldn't afford apartments in the center of Manhattan? It wasn't right. They all shut up, haven't they? You know why they all shut up? Because they had to go and get jobs. The sort of disinformation pumping trickle of revenue into his lonely effing life. Again, why? This is just factually inaccurate. That if he's again, he's got a loving wife and children, which he's cultivated over many years of a lot of work. Again, Tom's gonna really outdo himself. He ruined the 50th anniversary. Shut your hole, you spoilt cur. It's incredible, isn't it? Everything they say is a mirror to themselves. It's just breathtaking. So what can you do? Never make yourself the story. But that's just what I'm here. It's just funny. And I have to say, the outrage of Twitter psychos are it's always amusing. It's always amusing. That might not be my best trait. All my worst traits I got from my mother. My snobbery. All my worst traits I got from my mother, and I love all of them. And I love Gary, and I disagree with him. My name is Seelbeck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Honestly, subscribe, do all that crap for us, because the purge is on. The purge is on. We are running at twice the speed right now to stay in the same place. So yeah, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Check out my Indiegogo and have yourselves a freaking awesome day.